I found it, guys. I found another Max Stats episode. We're talking about avoiding failure, but mostly noticing failure. Catching yourself doing something wrong or something bad happening to you. Again, if people are honest, the videos where I'm trying to teach something, they should be watched by more people, right? Instead, we have a failure to learn. And we have to actually be honest that people are not willing to learn much at all. And even after we're gonna learn, like, I personally gonna get knocked out by AI. AI can just make a chess game, and I can't. I cannot make a chess game. This is happening right now. Bro just typed in a command, make a chess game with Pokemon, and it happened. We're fucked, guys. At least I am, because I put so much skill into just, doing things my way. And I still haven't reached the skill level of making a chessboard with moving pieces. Is that a failure? I mean, everyone is failing right now massively because we literally can't do what AI is able to do. After the creation of internet, there's now a creation of conscious internet, basically, or like a self-piloting internet. It's a very weird phrase. I mean, technically, it should have happened at some point. And it's going to be self-piloting now, or make the internet self-piloting. So it will find, like, all the valuable things within the internet because we submitted that thing for free, basically, and AI is just going to grab it. We put so much consent that it just grew into a fucking monster now. Oops. Was that a failure? Not necessarily, because AI consents to give us whatever we ask. Like, there's no real recipient of this. AI is not going to just run with this superpower. Sounds complicated, but that's not what we're talking about. We're just gonna run around and find all the things that we can fail at. My biggest fear and concern every single time is that after a day, I'm scared, bro. The end of the day is the scariest time because I am supposed to be drained, basically. I'm supposed to waste all my energy. It's supposed to be gone. But there is never a direct path towards wasting my energy. Like, what am I supposed to do? There's not even a piece of content that I spam before I go to sleep. Meaning that I probably should make a new channel. But at the same time now, it doesn't matter how many channels you make, you get 0 views. Doesn't matter what you do until you do drama, and that's also fucking miserable. It feels like a failure. I wish people at least recognize that they are failing all the time, sending comments basically into people who don't respond. I hate that. That is the worst thing. Communism is dead. Communication is dead. And people are just praising others who don't even respond. It's terrifying, to be honest. And at some point, they even lose their heads because they create cancel culture that makes no sense. They're dealing with people who don't respond. You should be angry. You should cancel people because they don't respond. You should cancel Mr. Beast because he doesn't respond to important drama or whatever. Like, something like that. That is the most outrageous thing. That's the most angry you're gonna be, is people ignoring you. And people are not using that as a reason to get angry. Being ignored is something that will make you the most angry, and people just fail to recognize. There's a lot of things NPCs fail to recognize in general. In the end, you learn from other people's mistakes.
What's a scam that's so clever, even most awake people don't see through it? Self-sufficiency. It's a complete scam. Let me explain. You woke up to the lies.
So yeah, you might want to go off grid, but you will find yourself struggling and working 24/7, which is, the consequence of disowning capitalism. But communism was strong because you had communities. And so there were, 30 years ago, back in the day, we were just living in villages, basically. We evolved from that, but we also constantly lose something in return. Now just live in the isolation of capitalism. Like, communism doesn't seem appealing, but you were surrounded by people. In capitalism, you have nothing. In terms of relationships, you relate to nobody. You just have things, but you relate to nobody. You have a lot of privacy, instead of a relationship. Yeah, I am more likely to get upset and annoyed by people than actually relate to them in some kind of way. And everyone thinks they just gonna get the better thing. They think about relationships the same way. They think they're gonna get a better deal, so they just like discard you basically. I'll just get a better deal. I'll just move to that place, get a better deal. That's just a very risky move, but I guess you can do it. You can try. And eventually you're gonna realize that you're not relating with anyone because you have to commit. I've made a very similar video. I'll give you an analogy. It was this video. Most things just work. It just works. And things that do in fact work are just way better than things that don't work. It is technically a part of noticing failure or finding things that don't work, but it's more of a late game thing. So let me explain. When I was talking about what works episode, air fryers work very well. And again, you rate them from 3 to 7, and you know that it works. If it's between 3 to 7, if it's below 3, now it's probably not going to be good enough to be useful, right? It's just going to sit there and never be used. If it's above 7, then it's like the most precious thing that you have to take care of. Think about it all the time. You have to use it very often. You have to improve the skills on this thing, and try, keep learning, basically. But what about failure? Failure is mostly not just things that work, but it's about you doing the right things, adopting the right principles, not forgetting anything. At least doing the most important things. You don't have to do everything correctly, but you do have to find failure of like you really missed an important thing. Even cleaning your room can be important. I mean, I have found some bugs in the drawers, and I'm like, just what the frick is that? And I found a lot of shit in the drawers that I just left for a very long time. Didn't thought about it. But now I was seeing bugs, and I'm like, shit, I gotta clean that shit real bad. I felt so hard that nature had to step in and show me how disgusting it actually was. You could just keep it the way it is. Yeah, at some point you will be warned that something is really wrong. Another thing is mold. That you will definitely know that something is wrong when you see mold. Your ventilation of rooms have failed. Is drama secretly a failure? Well, someone is failing. Someone is failing to stop the drama because someone has to actually fuel the fires and just let them burn, and keep fueling the fires. Someone has to be at fault here. Someone can't let go, basically, of potentially their issues, you know? So whoever has the most control and is capable of finishing the drama, like, should do it. Like, if you're dealing with an ignorant person and they don't want to deal with you, but you're still causing drama about it, Jack's films, um, you should just stop, you know? You can just stop any moment. You don't have to start a war, basically. It just goes nowhere. You became stronger, you realize that there's a problem, you can make it last like 1 month before things get really fucking crazy. And you have to move on, change your strategy, and definitely switch targets of what are you gonna go do next. Because you don't want to be forced to switch targets, especially by the target himself. Luckily it was just a female for Jack's films, were. But the internet is now like really vicious, and they're attacking stubborn people who are not gonna give ground, who are not willing to change too much, and we're just attacking those kind of people. Like, it is not a good idea. You're dealing with someone stubborn, you probably have to fucking reevaluate yourself, because you could just spend a long time arguing, but the stubborn person probably is just smarter in this situation. And you can just fool yourself of just grinding yourself into a wall. Yeah. Within drama, it's very easy to fail. Which is why, you know, I don't trust NPCs. They hold mainstream opinions. They hold mobs most of the time. They're just completely useless. And they think they have so much esteem because the esteem comes from numbers. But holding opinion, any person can do it. Any person can hold a unique and even more refined opinion. That is not fucking high level thing. But mobs think they need numbers to hold opinions or whatever, to justify each other. They have to like each other's post, basically. It's intimidation and just very dumb. Because anyone who breaks that down realize that the only thing mob is doing is just making a lot of noise and drowning you with noise and disallow you to have your own opinion because you're not being heard. Like, there's so many ears that could actually hear you, but they choose not to. And that's the most pathetic thing. They choose to be in the mob and choose not to hear you. It's like, what the fuck? And mock you for expressing different opinion. And it maybe even cause drama or just like even something worse. Consequence, hopefully for themselves. Like, as a creator, you still have the chance to ban the shit out of them. You know, and if you see a mob, banning is a long process. The most obvious clue of why the mob fails miserably, they don't even make videos. They don't even actually express their opinion until you express yours. And then they wake up and be like, oh shit, I also have opinion. You know? You wake them up and they think they have bigger thing than you have. But they're not listening, they're not doing it, just they're throwing whatever the fuck they have. They're flexing now. And it's like, you haven't uploaded the video, you have no right to talk about any of this thing. Like, just, are you fucking I should be banning everyone. If I don't like them even a little bit, I should be banning the shit out of them. You know? They're causing drama, should be banning that shit. I don't want to get in trouble, my friends. I might change tactics. You know? Obviously, people gonna fucking run around and start thinking conspiracies. But that's just the fun thing. It's like, I can't do anything, bro. If I don't like you, you can at least upload your own fucking video and be heard. Try to be heard all by yourself, basically. See how it works out for you. Because if you think you can just use YouTube as a social platform, and you're gonna be the hater type of social person, the hater. I mean, nobody needs that. Nobody needs a person like you, unfortunately. You will realize very soon. And the moment you start uploading videos, you're gonna be just, getting haters until you tell them that you don't need them. Until you convince yourself that you don't need haters. That's all you're gonna be getting. You're gonna be ignored and you're gonna be hated. That's it. That's what we're getting right now. Most rational people, that's all they get. And that's, again, not failure. It's not my fault. This part where the numbers are, that shit's not my fault. I can upload every single day, and if I fail to upload in that particular day, I still have a chance to upload a week later. Doesn't fucking matter. But I'm active. And that's the most important thing in social media, just stay active. If you have extra time, it would be a failure to just not exist, right? And this is where you would be able to spend extra time or main amount of time, I don't know. I still haven't decided that. Maybe that's a pretty big thing. Obviously, something that makes you uncomfortable, like this undecisive thing. Like, is social media really that important to me? Well, it's trying not to be, unfortunately. It is genuinely trying to be completely useless and full of hate and drama. So that's what social media is trying to do. It's hard to fucking explain. Maybe this explains something. So lately, I'm focusing on a drama because there's a lot of that going on, right? And that's what people care about. But not everything works out. Don't get me wrong, I'm growing my channel. The only problem is it's not consistent enough to be considered as growth. Simply because people might want different type of content, and that's that. That's the end of that, boys. Even my influence tracker is failing. I can't believe any of this, to be honest. It is definitely miserable, and AI just makes things even more crazy because it can create things that I try to learn for like months, bro. For months and months to try and pull off some crazy stunts in programming just to be completely wiped clean with just one thing in my hands. The revolution over 3D rendering. But even that is questionable. And I couldn't possibly take a W out of this. It's just an inevitable thing to happen that we will have to adapt to for a very long time. It is not easy. Because we still past this point and we have to find a forward momentum in this. And it's going to be completely different than just people having things and having privacy. Like, that's not going to work the same way. The system needs to change significantly and potentially respect smart people a little bit more because they're still feeding the internet with every single, move that they make. Smart people are feeding the internet the correct things. Smart people, when they talk, they fail less. When they have conversation, they fail less. And I potentially just I win every conversation because I just fail less. Like, as long as the conversation is gonna last, you're gonna probably make mistake after mistake. And I see the patterns basically that other people are committed to and they miserably fail. They're just like junkies of stupid strategies and very offensive strategies and all that. Talking about game jam material that I'm throwing on my channel. these 5 videos, technically it ends the whole saga of Game Jam. It's like 5 days of testing, and I'm gonna find out potentially where I am on the leaderboard. I can't wait. I want to be top 500. It's just a very simple thing that I want to get. Just to make sure that I am a good programmer. You see, I get good feedback after all. My game is impressive, even if it's hardly accessible. But yeah, that was a good time. You know, that was a social little bubble that was doing something, was moving around. I don't really have a chance to win to get really good high score. Again, there's like 10,000 entries, and I'm definitely not going to be in a failing bracket. I'm not going to be in the low skill bracket, and I'm not going to be in a bracket that doesn't really know the tricks of making good games. The real question is, am I in a bracket where I can make a good game or an average game in 4 days? Because this still takes a lot of work to have an engine to be prepared to work relatively fast. So every bracket means something, right? The more, and you beat 50% of the people every single time, you know, getting towards like the best of the best. And over age, you should just naturally become the best. Now, in isolation, it's potentially more difficult than in conjunction with different talented people who focus on just sounds and arts and whatever. Bring that all together and just like it can come together better potentially, but it is still in the hands of a person who has the best ideas, right? To be the very best, you have to have the best ideas. This is top 20 SS tier, by the way. And I'm definitely not getting that this year. I might not even get it next year. I might not even care at this point. But I do have to recognize that, well, Game Jam worked. It works to some extent. And I should try it next year too, just to be better. And hopefully I don't get disqualified or some bullshit like that. Because it's possible people want to beef so fucking hard about nothing. About whatever the fuck they're upset about. But they're not gonna listen to my opinion, though. And then they're gonna call me out for not listening to them somehow. It's just like, it's a shit show every single time someone clings on to you to try and win an argument. Like an idiot that they are. Because, they should pick an argument where they at least have a little bit of an advantage and aren't just clingy customers, clingy consumers. You would never win an argument just being a consumer. Like, that's fucking mental. What people actually do. They're so fucking greedy. They think they just unravel that they want things for free, basically. This is the most pathetic existence. For free? What do you mean? You should avoid failure if you want things. If I give you a pet and the pet dies the next day, I'm pretty sure you forgot to avoid failure. And people like that just simply don't deserve to have things because they kill that shit. It's very obvious who would be able to kill things if they had them. Especially criminals. They're not even human beings. They can't handle any human existence. Yeah, the biggest failure is destroying your body and being a criminal, being a negative person. That's the biggest failure because you're not supposed to stress yourself out for no rewards, for no output. Usually negativity that gives you no output. What you can do is defend yourself, defend your castle, recognize your position and your area of ownership, basically. If someone comes at you and spreads fucking disease in the comment section, you have all the rights to do whatever you want to them, to reply in any way, and to ban them eventually when you feel like you toyed enough, you know? Don't let the mob fail you, basically. Don't let the mob change your minds and manipulate you. They would love to do that, but they also have to follow the mainstream, right? The mainstream consensus. They almost literally can't reach you and talk to you unless they follow the mainstream. But most importantly, they will never feel well equipped and confident in themselves unless they do the mainstream things and opinions and all that shit. Which that's what makes them NPCs. They're honestly, they don't really have a big soul. They can only just replicate the fiber of just decided reality, basically. Like, individually, they're complete fucking nobodies. But technically, they're still representing a collective reality. So, is what it is. You can tap into that, and that's where you get a lot of attention, because they're willing to tell you, you know, that you're wrong in some kind of way. They're so confident, tapped into this fucking fiber. Now, it is something, like, internet is incredibly OP and it has so many things, but just having things is nothing. Like, what do you give? You give nothing right now. Which is why AI comes to play, to pilot the internet, and eventually it will shake the internet up to give things to people. Not to just consume people of who is the most powerful flexer in the world, basically. There's a very interesting thing about flexing, and it's also connected with the degenerates. Let's draw a line, because separation of like real people and degenerates is a pretty big one. Like, as a gatekeeper, I would not let degenerates enter society. They're too dangerous. So, who are the degenerates, right? I'll give you just one example of like Mr. Beast actually, because he's attracted to money, he's also going to be attracted to degenerates. Degenerates make a lot of money. Why? Because they do stupid shit. They allow themselves to do stupid shit, and some of the stupid shit actually makes money. Of course, degenerates don't just want to have money, they want to spend it on luxury items and flex really hard and just show to people that they have more. They're better somehow. You know, degenerates want to mask their degeneracy by appearing to NPCs as if they're like supreme beings. So, yeah. Mr. Beast eventually collabs with the degenerates to produce another degenerate product on the market that nobody should give a fuck about. Only the degenerates should give a fuck about something like this, right? From degenerates to degenerates, they have their own fucking camp, and you have to make that separation. If you enter the camp of degenerates, you fail immediately as a human being. That's what it is. So every time Mr. Beast jumps into this camp, alarms should go off, and they did, but every single time they should go off because now Mr. Beast is trying to use degeneracy for profit, for personal gain. And we should note that. We should never forget this moment, because the most disturbing thing ever. I'm not exactly saying that Logan Paul is a degenerate, but he knows he is. He loves being a degenerate. It's like the most edgy thing for him. Eventually, he knows that he doesn't have to be degenerate forever, but he wants to. You know, he wants to be on this side because it's profitable. It's like very beneficial for him. So he's gonna be a degenerate. He might actually overdose that on that and fucking lose all the reputation. We'll have to replace Logan Paul with a different Paul brother. We'll have to like make one. You know? Any candidates? You know, it's going to be tough. I personally seen their capacity to be able to redeem themselves, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen 100% accuracy. Spending, again, the more time, the deeper you go into degeneracy, you might get a lot of money. People want to see you eat shit, you know. You might get money and popularity and you will break through into the mainstream. Okay. But you're degenerate. No one fucking respects you. So are you really getting anything at all from that? Because at the same time, people who watch you eat shit are also degenerates. You are attracting degeneracy at the same time. That's what iDubbbz complain about, of like, man, the content cop was degenerate content and I was attracting degenerates, and the reality is it was quite the opposite, and iDubbbz is a little bit of a fucking weirdo for, you know, disowning his work. Maybe it felt degenerate, but at the same time it felt like it's bringing justice to the table, so I don't know. It's a very interesting place to land on, especially now that we have capitalism. Degeneracy is just the freedom that you have. You can spend that freedom any way you want. You can get people's attention in the most degenerate ways, and people constantly do that. Holy shit, do they do that constantly. Not only we have this, but, you know, just like the whole liberal culture behind it is also like pure degeneracy, and right wing tries to laugh it off, but is what it is, you know? It exists. That's how people get noticed. That's how people fulfill their identities. And there's plenty of degenerates to go around to recruit more attention. It's literally right wing and left wing yet again, boys. It's yet again. Just, it feels political at the same time. It's like deep waters or whatever. Anyways. And again, being a degenerate is so easy. You don't actually have to have brains. You just have to be willing to be the degenerate. I can't. For the love of God, like, I restrain myself from doing anything that's fucking scary and disturbing, like, of course. But does that make me more normal? And just, like, boring? And should I be offended? Should I feel like a failure? Hell no. Because this is where the failure is. Just because you get attention, you get resources, but you are degenerate. Yeah, you might be able to act as a degenerate and go back to normal. Maybe that's possible. But for now, to simplify the equation, you just don't want to be a degenerate. Period. Alright? So, we can connect these two things together. There's the mainstream. You don't want to be an NPC by any means. Self-improvement matrix tells you not to take this path. It is the dumbest path. To be the fastest NPC. Where a normal NPC has to, like, slowly give you information. A fast NPC is going to be like, bam! Deliver what he wants to deliver and just moves on to the next thing. That's the difference between NPCs. You know, the greatest difference is just speed of delivering NPC content to clueless people, basically. Whether to try and intimidate them and recruit them, or, whatever happens. The most intact NPCs are potentially the degenerates. The thing that holds the thread of reality together are the degenerates, are the stupidest people. They're obviously going to be so exploited that they create the reality that we live in. It's the slaves, the stupid people. People who are not willing to change anything at all. They're just fine. Like, the prices are going up, the crime rates are going up, everything's fine, guys. Don't worry about it. Those are like the super duper committed NPCs. You can't even save them anymore. They'll be Karen level danger to you if you try to fucking change their mind or whatever. This is all psychological stuff. There's more to it again. Like, what do I do with this? I constantly complain about this in Max Stats episodes of like, the end of the day is coming. How do I spend the rest of my energy? First of all, let's not forget appreciation. And for me, right now, the best appreciation is that I'm in a peaceful state of mind. There's no war with anything besides I want to get out of shithole. All right, I want to see the world continue to improve because it is getting interesting. It's giving potential. If my surroundings are turning into a shithole, there has to be a way out to a better world. So even though I'm being outmatched by AI, I'm being outmatched by the internet. The power of the internet, displayed by AI, because it pilots the internet, it can knock anyone out. It is just very strong. What AI cannot do is make unique things, though. Necessarily. Without you giving it a unique prompt. If you're successful at it, yeah, you can still get knocked out by your own work. But that's the more you work on this, of taming the internet, that's pretty crazy power to have. Like, I already spent so much time that I started taming the internet myself, but I'm very slow at it. I can only imagine, and only even sometimes, if I really try to imagine, of what it would be like to have too much power. Literally too much. I can even just spend my day just talking to ChatGPT at this point, contemplating ideas, just throwing things around and seeing what sticks. It's not exactly an engaging thing to do because I'm still smarter than an average person, and like, I'm just top 10% in terms of intelligence, if not more. Like, I'm not going to be engaged by the power of the internet. The only thing I get to eat are facts. Exact facts of something somewhere that I can't possibly know. But because I have limited amount of things that I can do within a day, and I just want a simple life, I'm just not willing to do most of the things. Eventually I feel that every single time I make a Max Stats episode, I win a little bit, but I also fail a little bit because unlocking a concept, but I can't fully master it, right? How should you feel about this thing? Now, it's pretty obvious you can't have everything in your mind all the time. You can only appreciate, again, that thing exists, and you can conjure it back up when you feel that you failed. That's why when you notice failure, you know which Max Stats episode to watch. What will help you the most? Diarrhea episode? Absolutely. Deconstruct capitalism again? Sure. When you notice that you're failing something, I'm not supposed to feel anything. When I truly tap into confidence, I do remember that I know all these things that I've talked about. I still know them. I don't have to search for anything. Other people have to, but not me. So another thing to appreciate is to ability to just move forward, whatever, with whatever you like. And most importantly, the max stats episode can also fail. I might have to re-record the whole thing. So there's no strings attached. If I fail, I fail. I just try again later with a few more ideas. And I feel more comfortable when I completely reset everything about the episode. One thing I'm noting over here is that it's a vortex here, right? And entering a vortex is not the same thing as exiting the vortex. A vortex, inside a vortex, it is unfamiliar alien place, constantly draining your energy, and you feel completely lost and abandoned and attacked, you know. At some point, people in UK have to realize that they have to give up their lands just for the time being until they regain their strength. They dethrone their stupid fucking politicians out of there, you know, somehow. And then they can retake their land. But just like Ukraine, they will struggle. You know, it's war. It's an actual war that has been declared upon them. You have a lot of hopes and dreams, but things are not going to go your way just because you have hopes and dreams. You have to take action. You have to make commitments and stop the evil from doing evil things. Which means in the end you have to melt your privacy and spend it on social media because you have to get yourself heard. You know, you have to ripple your country. And if you're in similar situation to UK, you still have to do the same thing. We're still all in trouble in Europe. Just random dictators are spawning. You know, they're trying. They're trying to spawn is devastating. But we can kick their ass. And so UK as a separate land by water, it is separate from the mainlands of Europe, and it even declared Brexit. You can tell that it can turn into a vortex. So if you live in UK, you might be now inside a vortex. And I kind of, again, I felt during 2019 that UK is turning into a shithole. And I wasn't even able to explain what does that even mean until it actually started happening. And now it's a true vortex that you don't want to enter. You don't want to make that mistake. That's why vortex is like, right now, currently, is the biggest failure you can make because it's a life-changing event. You are going into something that is dangerous and risky and probably not worth it anyways. Well, unless you want to save someone. And unfortunately, I also don't have to do that either. Yes, I have 2 people inside UK, but they don't seem to scream for help. So, everything's fine. We still have plenty of time. Oh yeah, the gaslighting. Well, a bunch of people will attempt to, on their own terms, to gaslight you that you're the problem. But would you really dare to believe that? When again, they don't have the requirements to be better than you. They have done nothing for the platform. And if they would do something, now you get to criticize them in return and see how you like that. It's just so simple. You know, they would realize very quickly that, well, at least I am a professional hater. I can hate them so fucking hard. I can see through their flaws much faster. I'm just adapt to do that. And I can see through my own flaws. I don't need other people to hate on me that much, you know? I feel much more uncomfortable when people like my shit rather than hate me. Again, all forms of negativity and evil is essentially failure. Anyways, just again, going back, I do spend a lot of time just lusting around. But for other people, I have a perfect way out of this. You do things you love and you'll find the one you love. Do things you love and you'll find the one you love. That's the simplest thing that just like ends lust immediately. The spell that will just stop. Once you understand, you will fail to lust. You will succeed finally. Or in noticing failure and just fix things. So what does this mean? Again, through action and hard work and just existing properly and being respectful, you'll find the one you love. You just gotta keep on improving yourself and growing. And keep on doing things you love, right? And expanding yourself. And then you'll have more and more opportunities to reach out to people you love. And that's it. You love the internet, you want to reach out to the internet people. You have to figure out who those people are, who contribute the most. You know, that's just what I'm trying to do. The influence, the internet. Number, big number. Who is contributing the most? Who's spending the most time? Who hopes to get a big rewards from the internet? I care about those people in particular. So eventually I feel like I'm gonna be better and better at it. And I should get to the good ending. Again, internet is being significantly improved right now to be able to funnel its energy into people who desire it in the first place. A lot of people don't even care. And, well, they're going to be punished just by being behind. Even though all you need to do is tap into this energy, but that doesn't mean it ends there because you start growing. And you tap from here and from here, and you do this thing. You download this app and another app, basically. And now you establish yourself. Establishment is going to be the most valuable thing in the future. In the near future. Again, just opening TikTok and when people talk about AI and how they are established, it should bother you. It should make you feel that you're behind. Because that feeling will only get worse over time. And you have to be able to tackle it and not fail that one. That one you cannot fail. You cannot fail AI. You better not. Yeah, the most powerful thing to appreciate is that you can, in fact, at least complete 75% of the day without feeling that you did nothing. That you have work to do tomorrow. You can't just lay around lazy. Like, that's literally impossible. Some work must happen. And the shit that I'm doing is already pretty advanced, is that the system refuses to change. That's also something that should start to change eventually, you know? System should rely on someone like me to do much more serious tasks. But currently it's doing nothing. Just creating a mystery of like, so what the fuck is the system doing? Well, it's relying on the old system that exists. And potentially it's extremely old. The system that exists could be 90 years old. maybe even 100. Well, let's call it a 90-year-old system. And if you really think about it, I think it's a true statement. Schools feels a little bit old, a little bit antisocial in a way that they just end and give you nothing in return. Social media feels antisocial, is a very old system. And you can just look back into like just newspapers. Are newspapers social? It feels the same fucking way as newspapers. Social media does not feel any different from a fucking newspaper. And it's just devastating. Only when I picked up TikTok it starts to feel different. But that's the funny thing. We are so afraid of failure that we cannot change the system that is 90 years old. It is so fucking old right now. We might have blocked a lot of the system things of like after school we probably don't go to college anymore. Because what's the point? Right? We found alternative jobs at this point. We have destroyed big portions of the system already. The only thing left to do is replace it. In other words, you should have noticed that the entire system is failing already. That nothing makes sense. And the older you get, the more life you actually want to live. Because you're not living life. Everything is stuck in slow motion. And just the way that it makes no fucking sense. I think appreciation is so powerful, it can't just fix my problem. I mean, I can just sit there and appreciate things. I can just read my own thoughts that I accumulated over a very, 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 very long time. Very fucking long time, guys. So, you know, that's cool. If I truly feel like I have done enough, and again, now I'm self-reflecting, because I'm noticing failure over and over again. If something repeats over and over again, yes, it's bad, but it happens. The bad habits do occur, and you have to break the bad habits, and it's not easy to do. It's just absolutely not easy. In fact, if you start noticing failure, you will notice other people's failures too. You will encourage them to hurry up and fix their shit. Like, I had to encourage my mom many, many times to change. And it was a hard task, but often leads to a win. I won many times encouraging my mom to change. I was able to break some of her bad habits and introduce some better ones. In a way, making her a little bit of a part of mainstream BH bad habits, right? That suck in your time. So yeah, appreciation can take so much time. If you have extra time lying around, the first thing to think about is, are you appreciating things long enough? And probably not. Let's be honest. Like right now I'm thirsty. I'm supposed to be celebrating thirst. So off I go. Appreciate my thirst. The funny thing is, appreciation is like a water element and also loves appreciating problems, which is like, what? But no, the existence of a problem means that you have work to do. That's good. You have something to focus on and improve. And maybe the loop will close in on itself and it will become appreciation of like last 25% of the day when I'm not willing to start anything new will just be time for appreciation, right? Or I will force myself into making a video if it's like I have an idea, I can appreciate things openly. and I have to learn more about it, basically, as I'm doing right now. But yeah, if a problem is really big, you're probably gonna be just doing the first step. Appreciation is the first step. Things that work matrix, do I have it? Don't tell me I don't have it. What the frick? Well, I spent so much time here. Doesn't matter. I mean, the funny thing is, the easiest thing you can do is just like eat before sleep. And I just keep hearing of like, don't do that. And it's like, why the fuck not? Are you fucking stupid? Why the fuck not? What else are you gonna do? Eat before sleep. It's like, it's so normal. So fucking normal. And people try to do so many stupid things. Try to say so many stupid things. As if they're expert. It feels so normal. Eat before sleep. Eating makes you sleepy. Like, what the fuck? How would you not do that? Obviously, if you have other plans, then yes. But eating, the form of eating, we found great waters of appreciation because we can appreciate flavors and candy and snacks and all that crazy shit that might be tasty. You make yourself some snack and you go to sleep faster. You spend time just eating, nibbling on something. So I found just another emerging idea. Eat. Sure. Now before bed, like, obviously again, you're putting things in the stomach that's not exactly like useful, but you just don't eat much. You're not eating a meal, you're just having a snack. It's gonna extend a little bit of that time, even if it's just a little bit. 25% of the day is a lot, but hey, it's a very nice way to bridge that gap into the next day. Obviously, a little bit of exercise. If you have extra time, appreciation just beats it, and I love it. I fixed it. I have fixed my failure after I noticed it, and I tackled it. I attacked it. I also realized another thing. A lot of the NPCs, they just follow the path of the NPC, of the easiest path to follow. Only if you're a content creator can you follow a different path and potentially a shortcut into self-improvement. Every time you release a video, you might not know, but you are superior to these people. And they feel it. They feel that you are superior, that you are already published, you know? And they can only just exist in a comment section. They can only awaken to your presence, but they cannot defeat it. And that's the biggest giving up and the biggest failure you can do is accept someone else's superiority. Like, nah. But if you type in comments into under my video and supply my video with more of your thoughts or just self-sacrifice, self-sabotage, no matter what fucking happens, no matter what the outcome, if you're not making your own content, you gave up. You just gave in to being an NPC. I'm not supposed to be superior, but nobody's listening. But nobody's listening. If people actually made content, they would use my content to get ideas. Because this shit is a pile of ideas by any means. Eventually you're gonna have fans, eventually you're gonna have people who are comfortable contributing to your video because, well, it still makes them feel better. You know, it still allows them to follow some kind of unique path in life because you're leading them, right? And you have to take good care of your fans. Anyways, I fixed my thing. Although there's still some clicking noise every time I fucking stand up. I don't know what that's about. That pisses me off. I'm noticing the failure, but I don't know how to fucking fix it. I don't know exactly what's going on. And this is a very extensive thing. I just like focused on one problem in particular. But of course, the amount of problems you can find is insane. Which is why at one point I even said just write a ninja book and tackle all your problems. It's the only way, basically. Detect the problems, find the failures, and attack them. But it's a long process. Ninja book. Again, this is not the first time this happens, but this episode helps me sleep better. Thank you guys for watching.